Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. This is the 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. And in today's video, I'm going to give you the information to answer the question, is this a great mid-size sedan? It definitely has a lot of great features and a lot of great functionality. Being that this is the hybrid trim level, well, you can be guaranteed of great gas mileage. And while this is as close as you're going to get for the 11th generation of the Accord to having the same numbers as the 2.0T did, I know we're off a good bit on that, but just so you'll know. But try it first before you knock it. You might be surprised at how much fun this model is to drive. Definitely more sporty than you expect. The dual motor hybrid system, the electric motors, definitely give it that feeling, and you get great gas mileage at the same time. So let's dig into this model. Still Night Pearl is the exterior color, and the interior color is going to be black. This is the hybrid sport trim level, so it's not the highest trim level, obviously, but that doesn't mean you don't have some great features. It should come as no surprise that the 2024 Accord has no major changes, as the Accord was fully redesigned for the 2023 model year. But it definitely has a nice look, a nice stance, great handling based on the way everything is set up here. You'll have the LED daytime running lights. You'll also have Honda sensing. It's going to be adaptive cruise control, road departure mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, traffic jam assist. That's all here. You also have remote start on your remote right here, a very common thing that I know a lot of you like to know about. You can see what all is there. And front wheel drive continues to be the standard. I don't know if we'll ever see an all-wheel drive Honda Accord. Would you be interested in buying one if Honda built such a thing, or added such an option, I should say? And speaking of that, let's talk about tire and wheel size. Width will be 235. It's going to have a 40 series sidewall wrapped around the 19-inch wheels. Now, you won't find the turn signal indicators built in to these power adjustable side view mirrors. They are manually folding. You do have the gloss black mirror caps that really accents the Still Night Pearl exterior color nicely. Now, on the sport trim level, you don't have heated mirrors, door mirrors, but I don't know that many people are that concerned about it. It probably depends on where you live and where you park your vehicle, but you will find that you have your blind spot information system, blind spot monitoring right there. The remote that I showed you earlier is a smart key. You have the walk-away feature. All of that is here. Very nice look overall with the body lines. You will again have that shark fin antenna in gloss black. I think that works well. A little bit of chrome surrounding the windows right here. Not too much. And we'll finish things off here on the rear. Well, the sport trim level, it needs a spoiler. Gloss black again in that case. And in case you didn't see any videos on the 2023 Honda Accord, if you were not a fan of the taillight design of the previous generation, well, here is what you have. Gone is the crab claw or stapler look. And one thing that you commonly see with a hybrid vehicle of any sort is the fact that you lose a little bit of cargo capacity. Whether you go with the hybrid or the non-hybrid version of the Accord, you're going to have 16.7 cubic feet of cargo capacity. Let me fold the seats down here and show you everything that we have, because I know there's a lot of people that say, hey, fold down both sides, don't just fold down one. So I'm going to take a couple of extra steps here and fold everything down so you can see what's here. Take a look through the area right here. Now, because of the way everything is set up with the electric motors and all of that, there is no spare tire here. We're just going to show you what really is and is not here. You do have a tire repair kit. And if you're ever wondering when you see this funnel, what is that for? If you happen to run out of gas, you use this funnel to be able to actually open the baffles in that capless fuel fill setup that we have right there. And that allows you to use the filler neck from the gas can to put gas in your gas tank. If you're that person who's on the fence and you're saying to yourself, do I want to go full EV or is hybrid better? Here's the way to make that decision. If you go full EV, you are fully dependent on charge capacity, and depending on where that is determines on where you can or cannot go. It can be a little nerve-wracking when you're stuck in traffic. Maybe it's below zero outside, and batteries obviously deplete quicker in cold weather. The colder it gets, the more challenging that is. With a hybrid powertrain such as what we have here, you have a combination of 2 electric motors and a 2-liter naturally aspirated gas engine. When the electric system is at a certain charge capacity, it will power the vehicle. When it gets below that capacity, the gas engine will kick on and not only keep you going down the road as long as you have gas in your 12.81 gallon gas tank, but it will also charge the batteries back up. The battery, everything will go back to where it needs to be to keep it going down the road. 204 horsepower, 247 pounds-feet of torque. It is mated to an eCVT, and obviously being hybrid, the all-important MPGs. Let's take a look at what those are. 46 city, 41 highway, 44 combined, and 2.3 gallons of gas, potentially per every 100 miles you drive. I'm not sure how easy that is to obtain, at what speed. It's just numbers on the sticker. So you might wonder, why are the numbers on city and highway flip-flopped? Because when you're out at higher speeds, you're more likely to be using the gas engine. And what exactly will your rear seat passengers find? Well, let's see. Is the armrest comfortable? Well, it seems to be. It may not be when you push on it like this, but if you put your arm up there and give it the armrest test, I think it will do the job. And here is, I don't know if I'd call it a door bin or a bottle holder. Maybe a small door bin that can hold a bottle. Tell me what you think. It's one or the other, that's for sure. And here is the cloth interior. Everybody has their preferences. Do you like cloth? Would you rather have leather? Whatever the case is, that's what's available here on this trim level. And then we also have the rear seat pocket right here, only on the passenger side, but it is here. And then you will also find the fold down armrest with the cup holders built in, but no rear air conditioning vents and no USB connectivity. And you do have a conventional size sunroof here. It does slide open and tilt open. And while I just showed you that you don't have any USB ports back here, there is a simple solution to that. That simple solution is found within the center console here in the front seat, and it's going to be the 12-volt power outlet right there. So what that ultimately means is that you can run an adapter to your rear seat passengers with the 12-volt power outlet. That will take care of that problem, just so you know what's here. And obviously the lid does double as an armrest. You can raise and lower the seats accordingly depending on if you're the driver or the passenger. The only difference there is that you do have a power adjustable driver's seat and a manually adjustable passenger seat. Obviously on the passenger side front door, the door is larger, so you're going to have a larger armrest and a larger door bin. So for the people in your life who must have the largest armrest and door bin, well, that's what they need to do, is call shotgun. And here is the glove box, plentiful space within, as you can see right there, and a quick look across the dash. You'll also find here on the hybrid sport trim level the 12.3-inch touchscreen, very easy to use. It might look intimidating, but I promise it's very easy to learn and use. And we'll also find 2 more USB options right here, a little bit of space underneath, and then the conventional style shifter. To change driving modes, everything is right here to handle that. There's your power parking brake. Brake hold mode comes in very handy in stop and go traffic. If you're going to be stopped for a long time, you come to a complete stop, the brakes stay engaged when that feature is on until you touch the gas pedal again. And the cup holders. And then I told you that you had that tilt and slide open feature with the sunroof. There is the button to control that. You also have the sunglass holder up here. No conversation mirror. Would you like to see a conversation mirror in your Honda Accord? And on the driver's side, well, pretty much the same setup as we saw on the passenger side, with a few exceptions. You know what all is here. I probably don't need to tell you about that. And we'll also find, if you want to open the trunk from the driver's seat, just push that button right there. And the trunk opens right up, as you can see right there. I'm mainly showing you that because I accidentally pushed that button. It's okay to laugh at me and not with me on that. And then if you want to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, this lever will move down and allow you to do that. And I'll let you hear what happens when you hop inside. And the good thing here is that you have a very easy to use but modern looking digital instrument cluster. That's always a good thing. And when the headlights are on, you can see the likeness of your Accord down there is illuminated in the front. When you go into drive, you will also notice that the vehicle goes into a down position. If you're into the sport of drag racing by any means, well, it's almost like getting ready to go down the track in a funny car. Not that I'm comparing an Accord to a funny car, but the body is up right there, and then you go into drive and the body is in the down position, ready to go. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. Some of you don't know anything about drag racing, and that is okay. There is the turn signal lever that allows you to not only let people around you know what you're doing, but also to control those lights that we were talking about on the exterior of the vehicle. Now, you don't have paddle shifters here. That's not for that eCVT. It's actually for controlling how regenerative braking works, as far as how aggressive it is, or if you want to turn that down some, you do it right there. That's regenerative braking that uses kinetic energy to keep the battery charged. So a couple of different options there to help with that. And also your steering wheel mounted controls, a little bit more gloss black here on the steering wheel. And like I said, your 12.3-inch touchscreen. And if you notice a little bit of a flickering effect, if you saw that on the headlights and the taillights earlier, that is not actually happening. You can't make it do that. That's not a defect. It has to do with my camera. That's a common thing with a lot of the cameras that many of us use here on YouTube to film these videos. Now, you can see that I had Apple CarPlay up right there. You also can obviously come in here to your main screen. You can wirelessly pair your phone. That is a good thing. You can go in here to see what's going on with your power flow meter. And I like this area right here where you can hold your hand, just makes it easier to be able to do whatever it is you may need to do. And if you want to go into vehicle settings, it's very easy to figure out what you need to go to. I do like the fact that this screen is different compared to the non-hybrid version, so that's nice. We won't go through every little thing, but depending on the settings you want to have here, you can change everything up here. It's really pretty simple. In fact, you can go in here and make changes to, well, anything you want, really. It's a very nice setup. I like what Honda has done here. Obviously, this isn't new because it debuted for the 2023 model year, but you can see what is there. If I want to go back into Apple CarPlay, the same thing would apply with Android Auto, but since I don't have an Android device, I can't show that to you. But there's how that works. Very easy to deal with. And then we will go into reverse and show you the multi-view rear view camera. So you have the 3 different views right there. And the screen does seem to be more responsive than it was with the 10th generation of the Accord. And if you're wondering about driving modes, remember I showed you that drive mode selector earlier? Here are your driving modes. I'm going to start with normal, even though you just saw sport right there. You can see the graphics that come on the screen. There's econ mode. Obviously, when you hear that sound, you know you're at the end of your options. And then we scroll back up to sport right there. You also have individual, which I think is a neat graphic right there. I know that's just there as added value, but it is nice to see that. I think it looks good. I think Honda has done a really good job with what they did for the 11th generation of these Accords, but tell me down in the comments section what you wish Honda had done that maybe they didn't do. And one little more bit of added value here. Here's what the headlights look like in the dark, or as best as I can get in the dark at least. Low beams, here are the high beams. Go back to the low beams. And just to show you how things look here, as best as I can with my GoPro. Hopefully this shows up well. But I know a lot of you would like to know what everything looks like after dark as far as the interior goes. So there is that. And then, how about this? We'll hop outside and we'll take a quick look at how everything looks on the outside as far as the exterior lighting goes. I'm not going to give you a direct look because I don't want to blind anybody. So in case you were curious, especially with these redesigned taillights for this 11th generation, in case you haven't seen them. They don't quite go all the way across, but they're awfully close. So what exactly is it like to drive this Accord? Well, it definitely gets down the road with no problem, especially with the 247 pounds-feet of torque. It surprises you a little bit. It does kind of push you back in the seat a little bit. I'm not going to say it's a lot. It's definitely not neck-snapping performance, but it still gets down the road with no problem. And even at higher speeds, you would be surprised at how good the gas mileage is. You can see the power flow meter. Hopefully you can see that well from your vantage point. But we're currently with our average 34 miles per gallon. That's not too bad. And I was just on a road where I was driving 65 miles per hour for quite a while because that was a speed limit. So that means that we're getting, well, maybe not perfect gas mileage for a hybrid powertrain, but still very good numbers, that's for sure. You do have a comfortable ride quality here with the Accord. The steering wheel is comfortable, obviously very responsive, a nice tight turning radius. It does have a sporty feel to it, at least for what it is, I would say. Sometimes you have to slow down a little bit because you're going faster than you should be, even though you don't feel like you are, which is what I just had to do. Not a lot, but just a little bit. But that's one good thing about how smooth the driving experience is here. So if you were going to go on a road trip, I think that you would arrive nice and relaxed, refreshed, not worn out from an uncomfortable, unenjoyable driving experience. And overall, plenty of room here. I feel very comfortable. I don't feel confined in this interior, at least not in the front seat. I don't know what it's like to ride in the back seat, so I couldn't tell you for sure, and I don't want to guess as to how that would be. I don't think it would be bad, but I'm not really sure. But one thing I do want to make sure that I touch on, even though I talked about this just a little bit earlier, for those of you who maybe have waited a really long time to buy a new vehicle, maybe you've had one of these Hondas, and whether it was an Accord or a Civic or whatever it's been, and it's lasted you for a very long time, but you're to the point where you say, you know what, it's time for a new vehicle, and I really like those new Accord hybrids, especially the Hybrid Sport. What is it like to deal with the technology for those of us who maybe haven't done so just yet? Well, one thing about it, while you have the latest in the overall design, the largest screen available currently as far as any vehicle you can buy from Honda with this 12.3-inch screen, it looks maybe a little more intimidating than it should be. In fact, I'll say this, it's very simplistic to the point that I personally believe somebody who has never used this kind of technology before, you could hunt and peck your way around and do just fine. And don't forget, you do have YouTube, so you can look at your tutorials that you need to see for whatever it is you want to do. When it comes to pairing your smartphone, very simple. It walks you through the process on the screen, so that's an easy thing to deal with. Overall, I think Honda has done well here. When these Accords first came out early last year, there was a lot of people who did not like what they saw, but that's fairly common with new models. When they've been fully redesigned, it takes a little time for it to grow on the general public. And so it seems like a lot of people have started to say, you know what, I started to like the Accord. Tell me who you are in that particular respect. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Is the 2024 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport a great mid-size sedan, or should I say a great hybrid mid-size sedan? Well, one way or another, you know what I'm talking about. Tell me what your thoughts are. And if you happen to be interested in buying this exact Accord, or maybe something else they have here in inventory at Holmes Honda, check out the link down in the description of the video and tell whoever you talk to that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you to the dealership. Speaking of that, I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at the dealership for loaning me this Accord for the day. And a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.